everyone, my name's Lauren, founder of SENabling Education. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing everything you need to know about applying for your first SEN role. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you've been looking at entry-level support work roles in this sector, then stay tuned because we're going to be discussing interviews, we're going to be discussing CV guidance, and we'll be covering exactly what this job might entail on a daily basis. And it should hopefully help you decide if this is the right career. But before we get started, if you are interested in applying for a SEN role and you're seriously interested, then I would really recommend that you download our completely free guide. In there we've got CV guidance, we've got a full in-depth breakdown of various different entry-level roles. We've also got interview guidance, comprehensive interview guidance, and that covers common scenarios that are commonly asked in interview, along with model answers. And we've got communication tips as well, so that you can really showcase your transferable skills and show how that translates into working in SEND. You'll find the link for that in the description below. As I said, it's completely free. At SENabling Education, we specialise in recruitment within this sector. It's not generic career advice. It's really tailored towards working in SEND. So now let's talk about what working in SEND actually means. What is SEND? What does that mean? So SEND stands for Special Education Needs and Disabilities. It's a bit of a tongue twister. So what does that involve? So that involves supporting vulnerable children across a variety of settings. Now that can be in a mainstream school, it could be in a specialist SEND provision, it could be in an alternative provision, and you'll essentially be supporting these children with their education, with their communication skills, and with building independence. It's really important to know that every school is different, so that's why I would say it's really, really important that you understand the role that you're applying for before you apply. So make sure that you do some research on the school that you're applying for, see what sorts of pupils that they look after, see what their sort of specialisms are before you apply, so that you really, really understand the role and can make a good judgment as to whether it's the right fit for you. So if you're looking for your first role, you'll probably be looking at roles like a teaching assistant or a behaviour support worker or an autism support worker potentially. There's lots of different entry-level roles, but that's probably along the lines of what you'll be looking at. And your job is to help children build confidence, to learn, to feel safe within their environment. And your job is to help children build confidence, to learn, and to support them throughout their day. And in these roles, no 2 days is exactly the same, to be honest with you. You might support a child during lessons, you might be supporting a child during sensory breaks or during lunch. So there are lots of different things that you actually might be doing throughout the day. But one really important thing that I always say is that what you'll learn very, very quickly is that behaviour in itself is communication. But what do I actually mean by that? Well, by that I mean that a lot of the time in these settings, if the appropriate communication techniques aren't applied, behaviour can quickly escalate. And so that's what I mean when I say behaviour is communication. So, for example, if you've got a child that's feeling really, really distressed, a big mindset shift is, instead of asking, well, what can I do to stop this behaviour? It's thinking, well, what is this child trying to communicate? Are they uncomfortable with the environment? Has something triggered them? There are lots of different reasons as to why a child may become distressed, and part of your job is helping to figure that out and, where possible, reducing those aspects in order to further support them. A question I get asked quite a lot is whether or not you need SEN experience in order to work in this sector. And the answer to that is, I mean, it's quite nuanced, but in short, not necessarily. There are lots of transferable skills and sort of lateral moves that people make. So, for instance, if you've worked in care, if you've worked in nursery settings before with vulnerable children, then oftentimes you have transferable skills that translate into SEND. And equally, if you haven't worked in this sector at all, and you've had jobs like hospitality roles or something like that, where you learn sort of empathetic communication, that can also translate really well when working in SEND. But as I mentioned earlier, it's really all about your mindset. It's about whether or not you know how to communicate, whether or not you're patient, and whether or not you're willing to learn. And these are the qualities that schools are looking for when they're hiring for these roles. They're not necessarily looking for the person that has had, a million SEND roles, before this one. They're looking to see, okay, is this person going to be a good fit for the team, and do they have the right mindset? And, I also want to be honest, working in SEND can be very challenging. You do need to be a person that is able to work under pressure and that can withstand challenging situations and have a pragmatic and problem-solving approach. And if that does sound like you, then this may just be the role for you. Some days are emotionally challenging and emotionally draining, and you'll constantly be learning, but it's also one of the most rewarding careers in education that you can have. Seeing a child grow in confidence and hitting milestones and targets that you've set together is extremely rewarding. And so if you're thinking about getting into SEND, I would say don't be put off by a lack of experience. It's all about learning how to present yourself well and showing the potential employer that you are a strong candidate. So in short, learn about the setting that you're applying for, really, really research the setting that you're applying to. Make sure that you understand the role, make sure you understand exactly what that entails, and make sure that you can show and evidence and present why your skills make you a strong candidate. And as I mentioned earlier, don't forget to download our free guide in the description below. It will help you build a stronger CV, prepare for interviews, and also give you a clear plan for landing your first role. So I hope that you found this video useful. I hope that it gave you some insight. It was a very, very brief snapshot tour. But hopefully you found that interesting. And before you apply, as I mentioned earlier, don't forget to download our guide. It will go into a lot more detail, comprehensive detail. It will help you to strengthen your CV and prepare for interviews. If you found this video helpful, which I hope that you did, I really appreciate if you subscribed, give the video a like, and let me know in the comments which SEND topic you'd like me to cover next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.